let's take a look. I have a couple more things that I want to share with you before we get into your stress responses. So please have your notebook handy. I want to introduce to you a couple more ideas. We left talking about this yesterday. What did we decide? What did we decide is the connection between stress and health? What did we talk about yesterday? Kind of in summary. Yes, Paula.
So that nowadays problems are more like lifestyle.
Good word. We talked about the link between health and illness can sometimes, between stress and illness can sometimes be behaviorally related. The idea that lifestyle choices play a part in how our physiological health turns out is kind of where we ended up yesterday. And we talked a little bit about some of the causes of these particular diseases as being lifestyle related. And we talked about the McDonald's that you all eat every week. And we talked about the cigarettes that you smoke and the alcohol that you drink and other behaviourally related activities that you do that make sometimes ill health the outcome. And one of them that we didn't talk about that I do want to mention is that behavior is not always a positive action. Is there behavior that we avoid doing that can contribute to this?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like avoiding eating? Or avoiding
What's a behavior that we avoid that can lead to some of these?
Smoke.
No, we avoid. I'm talking we don't do. Exercise. Thank you very much. How many people get regular exercise on a daily basis? Liar. Gym class? PE? PE?
Alright, gym class.
Yeah? I heard you guys like papers and stuff in gym class now and
No.
do computer research. And
Sometimes.
Only if you're late.
only if you're late. Only if you're late. So behavioral choices can involve also the elimination of a particular behavior. How many people have gotten home and decided that they're too tired to go to the gym or they're too tired to go for a run? Has that ever happened to you before? Those are behavioral choices. Two hands. Two hands. Let's move on. Correct. Correct. I like this, and maybe we can fill this in a little bit more too. Do you know what the CDC is? Center for Disease Control. We mentioned them yesterday in reference to that tuberculosis case, the rare strain of tuberculosis that was on the plane a couple years ago. Half of all the deaths in the United States are due to people's behaviors. Half. Not maybe primary cause, but a related cause. Could be something that has to do with our behavior. I wrote down a couple up here. Smoking up to success. You want to give me some more?
Lifting.
Stress.
Smoking.
Would
Stress is a result of behavior. Give me a behavior.
would drinking and driving be one?
Drinking and driving, sure, absolutely. Running backwards. Leading cause of death among perhaps people involved in Yamo. I don't know. What else? Eating unhealthily, for sure. Sure. What else? Give me some more. Behaviors. Lack of sleep. Is that a choice sometimes?
Yeah.
It is a
Not
choice
enough
sometimes. You mentioned
sleep.
that maybe yesterday or maybe it was in third period, I'm not sure. Lack of sleep. Lack of sleep. It's always a choice. How many people can fall asleep when they go lie down and relatively quickly? How many people can fall asleep relatively quickly given the opportunity? Yes? How many people lie in bed and toss and turn? You think that's stress related?
Yeah.
Potentially? What are you thinking about while you're tossing and turning?
Thinking about the homework that you didn't do or the test you needed to take or...
You're thinking about sleeping? The homework that you didn't do, the test that you didn't take. Last night for me, it was whether or not my son was going to be sick this morning because he got a little sick in his bed last night. You know what that means? What's that? He's not. You know what we discovered it was? Too much birthday cake. That's what we discovered it was. But I was nervous because what's happening? What's the stressor I was under last night? Do I have to call for a sub? Do I have to call in? Am I going to miss a day? Do I have to run into school at 4 in the morning and put together lesson plans for you guys so that you're engaged and you're learning while I'm home taking care of someone who's thrown up?
Work stress?
What's that?
Work stress?
Work stress is an important part too, for sure. How about this? There's a field called behavioral medicine that's starting to link these two concepts together. The idea that behavior is also a part of medicine, and that's what behavioral medicine is all about. The idea that we're trying to find links between how our behavior informs our physiological health. And I just want you to write the term down because it's kind of an interesting new, not new, but newer field of psychology. These are people are studying this in MD programs. People are studying it in clinical psychological programs too. So it kind of helps bridge the gap between physiological medicine and psychological knowledge. So behavioral medicine is one, and on the next screen, I think on the next screen, I'm going to show you something called health psychology, which is also very similar, but seems to reside squarely in the field of psychology.
Wait, so by this, would it mean like if people think something works, it works? Is that
That could be part of it. We talked about the placebo effect yesterday. We talked about the connection between mind and body and how more often than not when you feel good psychologically, you can become better feeling physiologically. So,
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
My brother did like this internship at our pediatrician, and there's like this vitamin called like Emergency. I don't know if you've heard
Yes.
of it. It's like this, just like powder you put in like a drink.
have you seen that Emergency? My wife uses it constantly. It's a powder you pour into a water bottle and shake it
Yeah,
up.
and so apparently while my brother was doing this internship, like the pediatrician was like went on a tiny rant about emergency, saying it didn't
No
work.
shaking.
And just because you're thinking because you're taking stuff
Shake,
that
not shake.
That's essentially what we're talking about. If you believe it's going to help you, then maybe it will. Now, is it really helping you? It's going to take an experiment to figure that out. But the connection between mind and body is very powerful. Can I move on?
Good. Sit down, get some feedback. Okay.